from you on your thoughts on Spurs in a short while. So that finishes off today's two fixtures. It started, of course, with that comfortable win for Leicester at New Boys West Bromwich Albion. New signing Timothy Castagne scoring on his Foxes debut. Jamie Vardy scoring 2 penalties. Plenty of action to look back on Saturday. We saw a comfortable win for Arsenal away to New Boys Fulham. Wilf Zaha with that winner for Crystal Palace against Southampton. There was an amazing game at Anfield. The champions were made to work hard by New Boys Leeds, with Liverpool winning 4-3. Mo Salah, of course, getting a hat-trick. And that big win for Newcastle, with worries already for West Ham in the nature of that defeat. Still to come, Sheffield United against Wolves at Bramall Lane on Monday. Wolves today announcing that their head coach, Nuno Espirito Santo, has signed a new 3-year deal. Wolves fans will be absolutely delighted to hear that. And Chelsea go to Brighton with Frank Lampard set to unleash their wealth of new attacking talent, having spent, what, £200 million in the summer transfer window.
Shot, and in the second half when they scored the goal, which I think is a bit strange because it's not an excuse for the result, it's not an excuse for the defeat, it's not an excuse for not a good performance. But with so many referees on the pitch and even on the line, to take a free kick with a minimum of 5 meters distance, I feel it incredible, because as I was saying before the goal, I was already saying that to the referees before the goal, 5 meters distance on the crossing situation makes a huge difference in the position of our back line and in the direction of the cross. But I don't want to stay too much on this incident.
I accept what you're saying about the officials, but also with that free kick moving further down the line, should your players stop that? You've talked a lot about them being nasty on the street.
You have meetings and meetings, even now on Zoom, asking the players for not to complain, asking the players to let the referees make decisions, let them go to the VAR, let them be free and without any kind of pressure. That, I don't know why you ask me that. The referee is there, the guys in the VAR are in contact with him. The linesman is a few meters away. Graham Scott, the fourth official, was a few meters away. You don't need my place to complain, I believe.
Does it surprise you, though, to be stood here one game in and be talking about your players being lazy in their pressing? You've got a hell of a schedule ahead. To be like that in game one, is that surprising?
Lazy pressure. Lazy pressure up front. That's what I'm saying. And that creates unbalanced situations for the rest of the team. I could also feel some of my players are not fit. Matt was struggling to play the way he plays and the way you want him to play. As an example, we had also other players that were a little bit in trouble by the physical point of view, due to very strange pre-seasons for some, and in other cases not even pre-season. But congratulations to my dear friend Carlo and Everton boys.
Last question: how do you lift it from here?
How do I lift it?
Lift your players, yeah.
Being honest with them, telling them things that I cannot say to you, but I can say to them. Keep working, and not much time to think, because on Thursday we have a knockout. We have a game that is going to decide stay in competition or out of competition. So there is not much time to cry or to complain.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fair to say a few things to pick up from that. Most notably, he felt he was pressing from the front. That's quite damning, Tim, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think they were lazy. I just don't think they had any clue what the plan was, when to press, how far are we letting the Everton defenders bring the ball forward before we get a trigger? Who is the trigger? Is it Harry Kane? Was it Dele Alli in the first half? Is it Son? Is it Moura? I had no idea. Sometimes they pressed. Token press, not a press what we saw Leeds do at Anfield yesterday. Yeah. They taught them how to press, then perhaps they should watch that. It is a sad indictment, and it's an indictment on the management if your players are not doing what you tell them to do. Now, he should have been screaming on the touchline saying, get tight, squeeze in. But I'm not sure they knew what the plan was. When did they go? If I go, are we all coming in behind? Are the centre-halves going to leave their position and squeeze on the number 10, James Rodriguez, at times? I don't think they knew. I don't think they had a plan out of possession. And they certainly never had a plan in possession. It looked like they were just waiting for Harry Kane or Son or Dele Alli or Lucas Moura, one of their star players, to just do a bit of magic and get them a goal. He's right what he's saying, Jose. In the first half, they should have been 2 up. All right, Richarlison goes round Lloris and he should have squared it, perhaps won. But Jordan Pickford has kept him in the game in the first half, and credit to him. I'm one who gives him a lot of stick. He had a very good game today. He made the saves, what we know he's capable of, and he made 0 mistakes, which is unusual.
Emil, as pundits, we're often quite careful to read into 90 minutes of football, particularly the first games of a brand new season. How surprised are you that Jose Mourinho has become so vocal this early on in a campaign?
At times you have to be. Sometimes you have to shelter your players and take certain criticisms away from them. But at times you need to let them know. But again, I think feeding into what Tim was saying there, do the players know when to press, when not to press, how to press?
Do you get the impression they know or not?
Well, didn't see it there. I didn't see that they actually knew. You see them going pressing, then complaining that no one's behind them, and then you see them ambling. And this is the one, when you're ambled to press, you're easy to be picked off. Yeah. And then the next minute you're chasing back the other way. It's not good. Yeah. You've got to be sharp, and there's got to be, the thing is, there's got to be triggers. Yeah. And them triggers, then everyone knows what they're doing. Bang, 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 you're straight on it. But if you just go and I'm like, oh, what are you going for? No one knows.
Yeah. So Jose makes a change. He brings Dele Alli off. Yeah, in the first half.
Which he says is tactical.
He said it's tactical because he says he wasn't happy with the intensity of the front players on the press. So he says Lucas Moura to play down the middle and Sissoko on to play on the right-hand side. Now, surely he goes on there with an intent to say, Lucas, you trigger it, you go, you got loads of pace, you go, set the trap. As soon as they play their first ball into midfield, you go and squeeze. You go and squeeze, we're all going to free fire it in behind you. Did we see a contrast from first half to second half? We saw it worse in the second half than what we did when Dele Alli was on the field. When Dele was there, they created chances. Yeah. Second half, I never saw a chance created from Tottenham.
You're saying that tactical switch clearly didn't work?
Didn't work. I mean, Jose would hold his hands up. He's no fool. Yeah. I mean, this guy's a serial winner. He knows it did not work. Sooner or later, he needs to get the message across to his players, because at the moment, he's lucky there's no fans in that stadium. I said it at the end. They were winning games when we got at the end of the season. Fair play, you win the games. If you don't start winning games, you're going to come under a lot of criticism, and he knows that.
Emil, what about his observation there where he's questioning the fitness of some of his players? I suppose all the managers have a right to say that, don't they? But not all of them choose to publicly air it.
Again, he'll know he'll know psychologically who he can say it about and who he can't.
Terrific foundations to build upon for the rest of the campaign. Tim, how would you sum up James Rodriguez's Everton debut today?
I think it was a massive tick. You know, I think he's done well in his first game. Wasn't outstanding, but I thought he played very well. He comes just off the line, picks it up in these areas. I think that's where he's good. You see him coming from right inside of the pitch here. He loves this position, and he finds the pass. You know, he's got the quality. We know he's a good technician. I like it when he's the width for the penalty area, you know, and he drives in, he gets shots. But he's showing the work rate here as well, getting back in for the team. But these are the positions where you want him, in these sort of areas centrally, you know, because I think he can open people up there. If he gets nearer to the goal as well, like here, then you know he's going to have a shot, and you know he's got the quality. This one is just narrowly wide of Hugo Lloris's post. But I think he'd have to be delighted with a start, Emil.
Yeah, definitely. He was a little unlucky with that, came at him quick. But, you know, he gets in these little pockets here, and he showcases his touch and his ability and his awareness. You know, getting on the ball and sees a pass. He was a little unlucky there with Richarlison not getting a shot on target, but he'll be very happy. And the funny thing is, there's more to come from him because his fitness will get better, and then his vision will get better, and his awareness.
And while most of the talk are lucky to have a player like him, we should remind ourselves this is a big season for him as he tries to resurrect his own career.
Yeah, he's got a lot to prove. I mean, he's been to the biggest clubs in the world, you know, Real Madrid and Bayern Munich. And it hasn't worked out for him. Yeah, he's got a lot of competition at them clubs. He's a main man there now. You know, the Everton fans, when they actually eventually come back, they're expecting a lot from this guy. Now, hopefully he's still there. You know, he likes to move clubs, doesn't he? Hopefully he's still there by the time the crowds come back and they can enjoy him. The manager obviously sees a lot in him. He's brought him to every club he's been at pretty much, apart from PSG. So, listen, I think he's got a big future.
What was interesting too was that we saw Dominic Calvert-Lewin's face when he was asked about the new signings and how he spoke about world stars. Now, Goodison, I mean, even his arrival, you can see facially, physically, the kind of galvanising effect it's having on the other teammates.
Always will do. When you step up into a new changing rooms and then you see the world-class stars that are coming in through that door, and that's because of the manager. Let's face it, he's brought them players in. Even Alan was, who for me was man of the match today.
Was he?
He was fantastic. I think me and Tim were talking about. He knows his job.
Yeah.
He's no airs and graces. Just play in there, close everyone down. Be that buffer in front of the defence.
Yeah.
Then when he has to pick a pass, make sure it's the right pass and then back everyone up. He was great.
I'll tell you, them back four of Everton today, if you ask them who's their most favourite player, Alan, James Rodriguez, who would they say, Emil?
Alan.
Yeah,
Alan.
his work rate.
He does a graft.
Makes it easier for them. They don't have to do as much work.
You need that protection. I think Decore gives that. He talked about the combinations. I said it at half time. It's a great blend there now. Even Andre Gomez is looking a better player because he's a swaggerer about. He picks the ball up. He's got a good range of passing, but he's allowed to do that now. They were all similar last year. You've got Decore, box to box. Rodriguez picks up little pockets. You've got Alan, who knows I'm on the toes of the centre forward and I'm going to break out and put out any fires, any gaps. I'm going to be on it. And I'm going to give the ball to Gomez and I'm going to let him spray it about the pitch. Don't get carried away, Everton fans. It's a good start. That's all it is.
Well, that was going to be my final point, because it's easy to jump to conclusions after the first 90 minutes of Premier League football. And while Carlo Ancelotti's aimed for a top 6 finish, could anything better than that be possible?
Let's take one step at a time. It's a great that they've got off to a good start here. We're going to see them getting better and better over the season coming, but it's a tall order to get into that top 4 and even into the top 6, to be honest with you.
So what's really very different in the Everton dressing room? Let's hear from their manager now, Carlo Ancelotti.
Well, Carlo, it's just one game, I suppose, but still, how encouraging was that?
The game was good. The game was what I expected from the team. I know that was not easy, but I think that the new brought energy, brought quality, and the others support the adaptation of these three really well. So the performance was brilliant, and also we had some difficulties at the beginning, but we were comfortable on the pitch.